Rolling.
Hi, I'm Ann Siggard from AnnSiggard.com and Ann Siggard's Cookbook you can find at the App Store. We're going to make a recipe that's from our book that is one of our favorites, family favorites. And it's called Wontons and Sweet and Sour Sauce. I learned how to make this back in the 80s and our family still loves it. And we like to serve it at weddings as well. People love this as an appetizer, or you can make more of them with lots of yummy fried rice, which we'll do today too, for a complete meal for your family. So let's get started. We're going to double the recipe today because I'm making it for a lot of people. So I like to put in my meatballs half ground sausage and half ground beef. So we're going to add 2 whole pounds because we're going to have one of each into our bowl. Into that I've already prepared a whole bunch of onions here to go. Usually I do about a half of them for halving this recipe, but we're doubling the recipe, so there's a lot of onion in here. So we're going to put that in the bowl as well. Today, usually I use seasoned breadcrumbs, but today we're using oatmeal as a filler. This is going to keep the meatballs together. You use this a lot of times for meatloaf as well, so it's going to work just fine for what we're doing today. So I'm going to put 2 cups of that in. Also, we're going to have at least 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. We're going to have at least a teaspoon of pepper. And at least a teaspoon of sea salt. And that's pretty much all you need to have this seasoned nicely for you. The last thing that we're going to put in is at least 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. This is going to give moisture to your meatloaf as well as an egg. Now, I've already washed my hands thoroughly, but this is the fun part, and if you want to get your kids involved with this, this is always a great idea. They love to get deep down and dirty when it comes to cooking, and they love to watch this happening, but meatloaf comes together the very best way by just using your hands. So I'm going to just start squishing. If you need some more liquid in here, you can add a little bit of water.
Okay, I'm going to cut right now.
We're finishing up squishing all of the ground beef and ground sausage together. You can see it's pretty much well mixed right now. And then what I usually do is take a cookie scoop, or you can just use a tablespoon, or even just a spoon from your drawer. Make a meatball about this size. Okay, and to make the wonton, these are my favorite wontons. These are a great brand because they fry up very, very well. So these are Dynasty wonton wrappers. I got those at Ralph's, by the way. Okay. Now I'm going to take a wonton wrapper one at a time, and it is a little time consuming, so if you can get your kids to come help you with this, all the better. So I'm going to put a meatball inside. This might be just a little bit too much meat. I'm going to wrap it over like a triangle. Now I have moistened the edges so that they will stick together, so the paste will stick together. Okay, I'm going to moisten these 2 corners right here. Bring them over and pinch them together like this and roll them down. Then I roll this to the back and then put it over here ready to go. I usually get a nice big platter out that I can line these up with. Now I'll do the next one. I moisten with my finger. Take a little bit of meatball. Once again, I'm going to mash them together with the moistened edges. They come together very nicely. I'm going to moisten these edges as well. Bring it over, fold it down, and fold the top over. These are going to be deep fat fried when we're ready to do it. Hi, we're back. We're ready to fry our wontons that we've made up. Here's what it looks like when I have them all ready in the bowl, ready to go. So we're going to take a few at a time right now and just drop them into very hot oil. We're using just canola oil rather than frying oil, but you can use a frying oil if you'd like to. So usually we put about, this is a nice big fryer, so we can probably put 5 or 6 in at a time, but you don't want them crowding each other. So this is how it looks like when it's getting ready to finish frying up. They kind of come to the surface and they're going to fry up really nicely. You want to make sure that the meatball is completely cooked. So it should work out just fine. It always works out for us. Okay, we're coming over here and I'm going to show you the sweet and sour sauce that we're making. This is already finished. You can see the consistency of this. This is made out of a cup of ketchup, a tablespoon of cornstarch, a half cup of sugar, a quarter cup of vinegar, and a third of a cup of pineapple juice. All mixed together here and heated on the stove for the cornstarch to thicken it into a nice, yummy sauce. This is so delicious on your wonton, but also your fried rice that you're going to have for dinner as well. You can see the wontons are fried up just at a golden brown. I'm sure that they are finished nicely. So we take it out of our fryer and drain as much oil off as possible. Then we take the wontons and put them on a nice paper towel to finish draining, okay? And then we do the second batch, which we will put in the fryer basket. And usually we make up to 50 of these wontons, but trust me, everybody wants about like 6 or 7, so you need to make enough for your family. They love these. And we're making this for dinner rather than an appetizer, so we need to make a lot.